Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. We are here for a wonderful Christmas show because at this point, hopefully, when you're listening to this, you're either have just celebrated Christmas or get ready to. I don't know which. We'll see. But anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that fun jazz.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So, yeah, holiday break for some is already approached. It should be by this point, which honestly, I don't know about you, but I'm not quite fully looking forward to it, but I am at the same time because just juggling kids that typically wouldn't be home all day long are now home all day long.
I feel you.
I was gonna say, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're happy, like let's make some memories, and then there's other parts of it we're like, oh, I really miss my time without kids in the house during the day.
I think it'll be good for me. I really, I'm not looking forward to it per se. I'm like, yes, please, let me have the kids home all day. But I really think that the kids being the ages they are and having their different hobbies and activities and stuff that they want to do, the biggest part of it, I think for me, is that most of them want to do something with me, but not with the other kids. You know, like I want to go. Like Marcus asked me on the way in. He's like, "Hey, did you look at your schedule? Can we play D&D tomorrow night?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'll have to wait. I don't know how tired I'm going to be when I get home tomorrow, because we've got so many things going on, and I'm picking up one kid from school and taking him to the gym, and we're going to work out. Then I'll go get the other kid. Then I come home, make dinner. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of individual, one-on-one time, which is amazing, but also very draining.
You just need to become Michael Keaton, Multiplicity.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that movie from back in the 90s?
Wow, I do. Yes, I do.
It just popped into my head. I'm like, yeah, that's some ADHD right there.
I guarantee if I had another one of me, it would be fantastic. It would be great. I think we'd get along fine. Everything would be good. He could do all the cooking and cleaning and all the garbage work. And I'd have to convince him, no, you're the clone. I'm the original. So you have to do all the stuff.
You do not get to sleep with my wife. I remember that being one of the big issues there.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah,
what?
I'm sure.
We're all the same. We no.
We're the same.
But yeah, no, I think too, just the fact that your kids want to spend time with you, that's, there's some parents I think that would probably give their left arm for that kind of attention. It's wonderful from their kids. Yeah.
And I've always tried to find, with 4 kids, it's just difficult, but to find time since they were very young, since I first started really doing this job of just me and you and I are going to, and even if it's just walk to the mailbox, just it's what, 30 meters maybe out there to the mailbox and back now. But when they were young, that was such an amazing adventure. Yeah. Right. So always tried to find time. It was just, and so that I tell each one of my kids, and I say this to a lot of people, in fact, you're my favorite. And they are.
Sure.
And in the moment that we're together, the two of us together, they're my whole world. And I try to center myself on them. And I think that really carries over up through, when they're after they've gotten 9, 10, and then even in the teenage years.
Yeah,
I think it's just carried over because they remember the times when I really was too tired, sir, to go play ball. But we'll go play ball. Well, we'll go do it.
And this is a good time. Like they've had some time in school too to be able to kind of have, if you maybe it's difficult for getting the one-on-one time or whatever, but just to be able to touch base and just like get maybe that one-on-one time where you're like, all right, like let's hang out, and then at the same time be like, how are things going? Tell me a little bit about what's up or whatever. And I think that that's something I've done that with my kids from time to time when we're out And I've done it when they've both been in the car. It's been like, what's going on? Everything okay? Like, is there anything we need to talk about? That kind of stuff. Just being able to be like, say like, hey, I'm here to listen.
Mm-hmm.
You got something to say it. Like, there's nothing there's nothing coming out of backlash or anything like that. Like, it helps to understand where you are. And I think that as kids get older, they just need to know that they have that touch point to be able to step back to a base foundation where with the relationship.
Right. Exactly. And I love too that my kids have rarely had to use, but I've always given them handwritten cards to them and said, if there's ever anything you need to tell me about that you think I'm going to get mad or I'm going to get upset or I'm going to be disappointed or whatever, give me this card. And then I am absolutely fine. Whatever you say, I won't overreact. I won't get mad. I won't get upset. You bring it to me and we'll work on the problem together. Yeah. And there may be time later where we have to say, okay, so how did you get yourself into this position? And how do we make sure you don't get into this position again?
Right.
But realistically, just reinforcing that, like you said, I'm here. I'm your not your touchstone, I guess, but your foundation.
Yeah.
This is where you start the rest of your life. And anything that's dangerous or weird or crazy out there, you want to go try it, do it. You want to jump out of a plane with a parachute? Yeah, go ahead. And I'm here waiting.
Yeah. I'm your base camp.
I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. There you go. Your base camp.
Base camp. I was like, when we were going through, I was like, base camp. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes good sense.
But no, that in itself, along with, I know we talk a lot about, like you were talking about scheduling. Like I think prior to this recording, we were even discussing like different ways to deal with scheduling with families. And I think that with the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, like, trying to figure out like what worked this year, what didn't work, like what kind of things can we upgrade on. And the thing that we were talking about, and I was actually talking to Corey about this earlier, was the idea of like a DECA screen. I think, is that a DECA calendar? Is that what you called it?
A DAC board.
Or DAC board. DAC, yep. That's what it is. Yeah. So a DAC board, which I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Just having the ability to have that electronic, calendar up on the wall. Corey and I really like the idea of the touchscreen version. So you can be like, what is that? And click on it and have it, become a bigger thing to be able to see what it is. Her thing, though, she said she's really sad that if we did that, she wouldn't feel like she needed to go buy the 12-month or, paper calendar with all the different things. And I'm like, you could still do that. Like, it's okay if that's what you want to do.
You can, or you could live in the future with the rest of us.
I mean, one foot in one side, one foot on the other side.
And the calendar too, the reason because the little calendars, there's not enough room for you to write in day to day what's going on. It's really hard. So I do it for the pictures. Yeah. Like it's the I don't know, Lord of the Rings calendar or whatever. I don't have any calendars right now, but yes. National and parks. So every month I'm like, ooh, there's a new picture, or famous hot rods or cars or something. It's like, yeah, look at that thing. And that's why I get them. And I give Marnie one every once in a while, but she never uses it. Her whole world is in her. They don't use Google. They use Microsoft. So whatever Microsoft calendar is, but whatever they're doing, everything she does is on that. Right. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I love the pictures. Like, that's really all that matters. The beginning of the month, you get to see a new picture for 30 days or so.
Exactly. Well, that's what we did too. Cause like we got one of like Australian shepherds, doing things. And it's like, we don't even show the dates on there. You just like have the picture on the wall or whatever. Yeah. It works. But yeah, so I like the idea of the what did you say it was again? DAC.
DAC board is the brand.
DAC board is the brand. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think DAC stands for anything, and someone correct me. Go ahead if I'm wrong. But I think it's like that's the company, DAC board. But it's just basically, I mean, if it's touchscreen, it's touchscreen. But most of them, it's just a monitor that shows your calendar. It shows the weather. It shows any widgets you want to put on there. Right. I saw one that a guy has he has something in his pool, and it tells the temperature of the water.
Oh my!
And it just beams it back to his DAC board, and it's on there. Like, this is the outdoor temperature, this is the water temperature, and I mean that's neat. I guess that's
a little too
pool, so
Jetson for me.
but isn't it really cool?
I mean, it is cool, yeah.
I love it personally. I've got like an atomic clock on my desk, and it gives me the weather. I mean, not the weather. It gives me the temperature inside, the temperature outside, and the time, of course, and all date and all that. But just having the temperature differences for me is just this nerdy little thing that I love knowing. Like, oh, it's currently 29 degrees outside. There you go. Well, who cares? I mean, I'm not going back outside.
That's why I have an Apple
It's
Watch.
late.
It tells me that information just right on my
Yeah.
wrist. So
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Which I
So
like
with
that too.
all the scheduling that we do, especially when you have kids that start getting to, after school activities, and the busier you want them to be, um, it'll be okay. No, I have something on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Can you do something on Thursday? Because if you can't, we just can't do it. I don't have
Yeah.
any time left in that
Yep.
frame. So
That's yeah.
Mhm.
No, go ahead.
but I just really love the way it helps with, we'll come back to the phrase cognitive labor.
Mm-hmm.
All of the stuff that I have to schedule is on my calendar. If I need to, like, every 6 school days, I have to take Marcus's bass in for orchestra. So I have to know that I've got to be ready that morning when they get up. I can get them up a little bit later. I don't, but I could. But also that I know that I need to get the bass in the truck, and I need to get them in the truck, and everything's situated so that they're still sitting safely where they're supposed to be and all that. And then I have to pick it up in the afternoon. And it really changes, the amount of time that I'm spending in the morning with them, the amount of time that I'm spending, I don't go to the gym immediately at that point. No, I'm gonna have to wait until at least, this time. So if I have a class, like a spin class or whatever that I'd want to go to, I'm going to miss it that day or something. And it's just really, really helpful because there's too many things to remember.
Yeah.
There's too many people, too many things. And right now, all of my kids have a Google account. I got them all a Google email address when they were young, and I've been sending them just emails now and again just to say, hey, you did this and it was amazing, and I loved seeing you try this or do that. And the other people in the family can send them an email when they want and say, hey, you did really good, or like for Fabian, congratulations on getting into college, and this is what I'm thinking. But all that kind of stuff started that. And I'm like, well, let's just do the Google. And you introduced me to Google Family, the family calendar. And that's been amazing.
Yeah.
And now I've got, like Fabian comes in and he's like, hey, Dad, I just want you to know I put my work schedule on the calendar, and it comes in, it pops up. He's got his own color. Everything on there is in that color. Each person has their own.
Nice.
And we just, I can look at the calendar and go, yeah, I got to do this, this, and this. I don't even have to read them a lot of times. And it'll give you an alarm ahead of time. It's just really much, much better to be more cohesive when your whole family is using. The little kids, they don't use it much. They just look at it so they know what they can, like, hey, can I go over to my friend's house on Saturday? Well, what do we got going on Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got this or that, and it'll have to be this time. So it still works out.
But how great to have that all in one place, because like I remember when I was a kid, like especially Fabian's age, like to have a job and try to like communicate that with your family. Like it was like I had to make like basically just have a copy made and just like slap it up on, a cork board in our house,
right?
Just so that, it's like, if you want to know, like, there's my work schedule right there. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, pretty much I keep mine in my back pocket. Like, when I was young, because I was always trying to like juggle extracurricular things and work. So yeah, I think having the calendars is huge. And it's interesting because some people still are like trying to figure it out. And it's like, just do it. Like, just rip the Band-Aid off and make it. And you're going to have times where things are going to get missed, and you just show grace in that and remember to do it the next time, that kind of thing. Because Corey and I are notorious for, forgetting sometimes to like just add guest, like just doing that so that the other person gets it.
I know you put it on the calendar, but did you put it on the calendar so I could see it?
Exactly.
You didn't? Well, then it doesn't count, does it?
It doesn't count.
It just, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to drop back and punt on this one. There's no way that's gonna work.
Yep. That's what we've done. So, but I mean, it's still, it's been a big help. So that's the thing. I love the fact though, you're saying like, creating an email account for your kids. I think that's something that has a lot of positivity in it. And too, like when they get to an age where it's like, hey, like I created this for you, like there's some great emails in here from family and, things like that to encourage you. But at the same time too, like, you're all set. Like, here's this, email for you to use basically. So, and it's interesting because like, for me and the kids and everything, like, Corey has her email set up a certain way, and then I have mine set up a certain way. And it's kind of fun because since we have a boy and a girl, it's like I can set mine up like I can set Hezekiah's up like mine, and set Ruby's up like hers or whatever, because they're very very similar in how it works out. So it'll be a lot of fun from that standpoint. So yeah. So I did Hezekiah's yesterday, and I'll probably do Ruby's here pretty soon, like today or tomorrow. So but it's just that because they're also getting to the point where it's like they're gonna need to know, they're gonna need we're gonna need to all be on the same page with things. It's like, which is crazy, is it's like, oh, they're almost 11 and 8 now. It's like, holy cow. So, but that's life.
It is and it just gets busier. I mean, it's a different kind of busy from when you're constantly watching them, taking care of them, feeding them, changing their clothing, all of that stuff. And it just slowly morphs into a time where, you have a little more time on your hands. You have a little more time now, but your kids need you just as much. And you've got to have taught them to solve their own problems and to have brought them to a place where they understand what a schedule is, what a calendar is, what a clock is, and all those things. But having them go in and just say, well, what are we doing on Friday? Well, it looks like are we playing board games on Friday? That's great. And they have the ability then to start using, because when they're young, they don't know what time is really, but being able to use, that's 3 days away. And I'll get the board games ready. And I've had my little kids get stuff ready for us. And you have it set. We start at 7:00, Dad. So we're getting everything together, and we've gotten, the popcorn and the movie and whatever, we've got the board game out, and Carcassonne is on the table waiting for you, and whatever it is. And it's just great because it's a tool you use to help your family be closer.
Definitely love that. Speaking of closer, so you're gonna have the family around for Christmas and coming into the new year and stuff, while there's a break of going to school. Is there anything that you're looking forward to doing with the kids while they're on break, or do you guys have anything planned like that?
Well, I wanted to go snowshoe hiking.
You have snow up there yet for that?
It's snowed like 3 or 4 times, but not enough. It's gone now. It's all gone. So we don't have snow for Christmas. We've got nothing. And last year we could have. There was plenty of snow on the ground last year. We could have gone. So I'm thinking I'm still going to try to go hiking. I want to go up to, there's a zoo about 45 minutes away, and I don't know what kind of zoo it is or how big it is, but their light show is supposed to be amazing.
Okay.
So the videos that I've seen of it, I want to take the kids and go do that for sure. And even the older two are excited. The 17-year-old, Fabian's kind of like, it's fine. What are we going to do? Look at some lights, whatever. But I'm like, you're going to love it. It's okay. You can be aloof. That's fine, edgelord, but you're going to like it. So we are looking forward to that. But until, says we're staying home for Christmas. We're having Christmas Eve, Christmas Day at home, so they can, open their own presents in our own house and all that stuff. But then we're going to visit with my in-laws for New Year's Eve, and for the day like before and after or something. And then we're going up to, and there's going to be more presents. And they're going to be a lot of presents, and there's going to be too many presents, in fact, because I've already got I told Marnie, I said, I don't know, I'm sure you've seen them, but there's basically a little grate that you attach. It's not little, it's the size of your car, that's attached to your tailgate.
Yes. Yep.
Not your tailgate, your
trailer hitch. Yeah, into your hitch. Yeah.
And I told her, I said, this year I have to have that because we don't have room for all the stuff we're taking and then all the stuff we're going to bring back, because not only is it the Christmas presents from, the aunts and uncles and the cousins and the grandparents and all that stuff, but it's also Marcus's birthday on the 5th. So I'm expecting they'll give him presents for that. So that's at least one more present from each one of them. I need some kind of like container to put all that in and stick it on the back of the truck. And I don't want to put it on the roof because we're already so tall.
Yeah.
I would have
You don't
some
wanna do
issues
that.
maybe. Yeah, I don't need that. So
Get a tarp to wrap it around,
Right. Yeah.
secure it, some bungee cords or like
Mhm.
ratchet strap. Yep. I
Yep.
understand that. We have one like that. It actually I think it was used for maybe like a small scooter for like a medical scooter.
Yeah.
My neighbor across the street, I came over a couple times. I was like, "Can I borrow this? Like, I just need to transport some things." Like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And then at one point, he's like, like I really don't want to have to move my car in and out. Like, if you just want to hang on to it, if you're going to use it that often. And I'm like, all right, fine. So it's just sitting in my back now.
Nice.
But
Nice.
yeah, it's nice to be able to just, put it up there and be able to
Mhm.
take different things. Cause yeah, like you don't need a trailer. You just need enough
Right.
space to,
Right.
roll a tiller onto to like take it to
Exactly.
somebody or something like that. And that's
Exactly.
exactly what it does. So, but yeah, definitely that would probably help you out
Mhm.
in being mobile
Yeah.
for sure. But that
It's
sounds like
just
fun
a
though.
requirement.
It sounds
Yeah.
like a good time.
Get to go out on the lake, which
There you
will be frozen solid again.
Will
We
it?
did this last year. Yeah, I think it will be.
Okay.
Because we're going to kind of northeastern Minnesota. So it's up closer to Canada. So I'm hoping it's frozen. Last
Okay.
year they had snowmobiles zipping around on the lake.
That's
And,
cool.
Again, old Southern boy here. I'm like, you guys should not be doing that. That is not safe. You guys are gonna die,
I've
And-
seen too many movies where this
right.
does
Yeah.
not go right.
This does not go well. And my brother-in-law, he's like, no, it's fine. He goes out in the middle, he's jumping up and down. He's like, come on. And I'm like, the last time I got on a frozen lake was in Colorado. And the girl I was with, I went out there with her like an idiot. And then I heard this dung noise. And I'm like, what was that noise? And I turned around and she's on the shore going, get off the ice, you moron. I'm like, what was that noise? She's like, that's the ice breaking. I'm like,
Oh my
you
God.
said this wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
you told
right?
me. You promised me.
I don't know. I don't
but-
trust any ice after watching the first episode of Mandalorian in season 1.
I don't think you should. You should absolutely not trust the.
That's
the
like
ice. But
watching
yeah.
Jaws, man.
Mhm. Right.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Never going in the ocean.
Never
That's
going in
easy
the
enough.
ocean.
Don't have to worry about that anymore. Take that off my list.
I'm not going out on the lake in Minnesota after watching Mandalorian. Thanks a lot.
I am not that fool.
Yeah. But no,
But
that's
it
still
should be fine.
yeah, sounds like a good time for sure.
Mhm.
We
Do you have any plans? Yeah.
Yeah, we do. So we're sticking around here. Christmas is just sort of kind of that hang out around the house time. We typically, if needed, we'll go visit my family, but we go after Christmas. A lot of times though, like my mom and dad come down like a day or two after and spend a couple of days down here. And so that's actually what they're doing this year, is coming down here. So that'll be fun. And we're going to go to Winterfest at Kings Island.
Cool.
So, which the neat thing about that is like they have the Eiffel Tower, and in front of it is like this big like fountain. And during the
Mhm.
warm months, it's got water and everything else. But in the wintertime, they like cap it, and they actually turn it into an ice rink. And so you
Mhm.
can go out there and ice skate. And I'm like, man, how cool would that be just to go like ice skating like right underneath the Eiffel Tower and just
Right.
have
Yeah.
that in the background.
We talked about that on the last episode, I think, or the one before it. But yeah, I remember you mentioning that, because
Yeah.
you're right. How epic would that be? I
Yeah.
mean, just get some pictures if nothing else. But
Exactly. So we're doing that.
Mhm.
And the other thing that's going on is like Lego Masters is a big
Mhm.
favorite show of ours, and one of the guys on that show is someone who works for the library here in Cincinnati, and him and his sister ended up getting third place in the finale. And so he's going around to different libraries to do
Mhm.
appearances. And so I saw that on like Cincinnati libraries, like Instagram feed. I was like, so I asked the kids, I was like, hey, do you guys want to go meet Paul Wellington from Lego Masters? And they were like, who's that? And I was like, it's this guy. Like I had to show them a picture of it because they didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, he lives here in town. And so, yeah, so we're going to go meet him and kind of see what's going on. And I have all kinds of show questions for him. Mainly I'm like,
Mhm.
the timing of things. Like, they give you 8 hours, for some of these things. And it's like, is that all the way through? Like, are there breaks? Like, what does that look like? And then my biggest question is like, for the finale, they give them 24 hours. And I'm like, how does that break down exactly? Like when you say, because it's like you watch some shows like baking shows or whatever, and they give you an hour or 2 hours or whatever. It's like, okay, no problem. But when you give somebody that much time to create something, it's like, how, like, are you working on it every minute? So it's just kind of fun to be able to have the opportunity to get to talk to somebody that's experienced that. And he seems like a pretty humble guy. Like he was pretty quiet on the show for the most part. Like, but it was fun to watch the creations that they make on that show. Lego Masters is like, they just finished up their 4th season, and every season has had some just amazing builds by like amateur builders. And you're like, how did you come up with that? Like the guys who won, they built at the end an 8-foot wide by 8-foot long airplane. And
awesome.
It was amazing. And the really wild part is that not only did they win the prize money and the trophy that you get, but their creation is actually going to be made into a Lego set. Not quite to that
not 8
scale.
Feet by 8
not
feet,
that not that scale. They'll scale it down, but they're gonna try to make something that goes with that, which will be really neat when it's all said and done, because they had like in it was like there were like these different worlds. It was talking about like travel, and so it was showing like kind of these different places that they had gone to, and it was all built into the plane. So it'll be neat to see how they put all that together. But it's just that it's just so much fun to watch that stuff. And then that, you go to different things, like you go to a Lego store, or, you go to Lego World or whatever, and you get to see these crazy creations. You're like, how in the crap did you make that?
Yeah. I've tried to get into the Lego store so many times, and there's just too many people. I mean, there's always just hundreds of people in front of me, and they're lined up for blocks.
Where are you getting lined up for blocks? Oh my gosh. I was about to dude, holy
Merry
cow.
Christmas.
Oh my gosh. I was like, where is he going with this?
Yes.
You couldn't get
your
into
reaction
a Lego
was
store.
Exactly what I wanted.
Oh my goodness.
That was perfect.
Hit the back of my head and make my eyes roll back forward after that one. Well done, sir. Well played.
That was like a 6 or 7 on the sizeometer. It's pretty good.
I'll give that an 8 on the sizeometer. Well done. Shoot. Oh, good Lord.
Hey, take a little break, folks. We'll be right back.
Yeah, no kidding. It's all good. I'm sure everybody else is getting a good laugh out of this too. How close is the closest Lego store for you anyway?
Oh, I don't know that there are any Lego stores close to me. I'm sure there must be one in Milwaukee and Minneapolis, probably Madison, which is about an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah, I know that there would be one at the great what is it, what's the Mall of America?
Oh yeah, there's definitely
one there. I know that. So
that's the only one I've ever the only one I've ever been to, except for like an airport had one once, which was weird. But the one at the Mall of America, like everything at the Mall of America, was amazing.
Huge. Yeah,
it was huge and incredible. And they had a plane size plane hanging there, and it's like, what am I? Yeah, it was amazing. It was, and I don't love Legos anymore because I've just lost the ability to concentrate for that long, and it starts to frustrate me.
You have too many tattoos on your bottom of your feet.
Yes.
Sick of pulling these things out of my feet.
Nice. But it's more just the concentration and stuff. It's got to be a small, quick set for me, which is bad because I've got the Millennium Falcon and I still haven't put it together.
Like the big one?
Terrible. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And once I start it, I'm going to have to do it start to finish. I will have to push myself, and I don't have the amount of time that I think, because it's going to take me hours to put that thing together.
Days.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It's just you can't. It's too big.
Is
But
it the newest?
it's
Is it the
fine.
newest one that just came out? Like,
No, it's a couple years old. It's at least I bought it when we moved up here. That was one of my stipulations for all of the garbage I had to put up with to move all of our kids and everything up here. I'm like, I'm buying that Millennium Falcon though. And Marnie didn't blink. I mean, didn't even stop for a second to think about it. She goes, okay. I'm like, dang it, I should ask for something else. She's like, I'm buying a motorcycle though. See what she does.
She's like,
I would not
right.
buy a motorcycle. I would buy one of those little Nautilus slingshots, little 3-wheelers.
Oh yeah,
that I would do. I mean,
there's a few of those here in Cincinnati. I see people buzzing.
They look
around
fun.
Yeah,
they look a lot of fun. Not for the winter here, but still, like even today, I could have been driving around. That would have been amazing.
Yeah,
take that to Home Dad Con. That would have been cool.
I saw one where someone had decked one out like all Christmassy, but it was the Grinch driving it, which I thought was hilarious. And he was
even
like
better.
And he was like blasting like almost, it was like rap music, but it was all about the Grinch. It was really fun. Like he found something that was very unique to put out. He's just sitting there bumping at the stoplight. Like, yep, love the Grinch.
Are y'all doing anything for New Year's? Going anywhere in Cincinnati or whatever? Y'all just going to stay? I know you're probably not going to stay up till midnight and like.
I mean,
celebrate. I mean, you might. Your kids are at that age; they would probably enjoy it. But
yeah, it's kind of a weird situation this year for New Year's for us because this is like the first year where the brewery hadn't really had to deal with COVID stuff and nothing else like really coinciding with New Year's Eve that like would take away from it. So like, for instance, 2 years ago, there was still COVID stuff going on. Last year, OSU was in a big bowl game that night. And so everybody was pretty much sticking around their houses to watch the game. So nobody was really doing anything. And then this year, we got on the ball because with the brewery, we have an event coordinator and a marketing person, so we can pull things like that off a lot easier. So we are having a big New Year's party actually at the brewery.
Oh, cool.
And it's like a ticketed event and everything. So it's going to be really cool. Bad part about that is that I'm going to be basically working it. Corey was looking at schedule and saw that she could basically kind of be like a moderator for work that night. And the kids are going to go to bed anyway. So like, it's not a lot.
And I think for me, once I had a couple of kids and married and kind of settled down, I'm just like, I don't really see the allure.
Yeah.
I got somebody to kiss. That's cool. I'm not looking for anybody else. So that part of New Year's,
I miss the good old days of when I was a kid for New Year's, honestly, because I would always like, this was back in the day, man, like the YMCA in our town would have an all-nighter, and it was great because basically most of the parents just dropped their kids off, and then you had a lot of the counselors from like the camp and stuff that is associated with the YMCA that actually kind of helped out, and you had an entire evening. Like there was like pizza and popcorn and soda and all kinds of stuff like that. So it was like the perfect setup for kids. But then you had like the pool, and you had, the volleyball courts, and you had pool, like you had billiards and all kinds of stuff that you could do inside like all night long. And they had like a huge like countdown celebration. And then at the end of the night after that, everybody got in their sleeping bags, and it was split up like guys on one, like they had like a curtain that came down. So like boys on one side, girls on the other side. And then they played a movie that you could, that you could sit and watch. And so it was the same movie. So it was kind of echoey. Like you just started at the exact same time because it was on those roller carts with like the TV, like a 36-inch console TV kind of deal. Cause this was way before the days of flat screens. But still like it's such a vivid memory of spending New Year's with just a bunch of kids and just the fun in that. And it, this is before cell phones. So it was like you didn't have anything else to do to occupy your time while you were there. I don't think that you could pull that off now, just with the fact of so many kids having technology and things like.
Yeah, you'd have to put some kind of moratorium on them that they couldn't use them, which not going to work.
Exactly. Which is a bummer. But at the same time, like, I'm like, all right, like, what is it going to look like for my kids to celebrate New Year's in the years to come? You know, it's like, especially with Hezekiah, he's getting ready to be, you know, he'll be a teenager here in a couple of years. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, what's he going to want to do? But yeah, so it
could all be AR at that point. It could be he's like, Dad, I'm going to just sit in my room with my glasses on and me and my friends are going to watch the show.
Right.
And fireworks in my bedroom, as far as I know, because I'm just seeing them right in front of me. I really believe that we're moving fast towards that type of celebrations.
Yeah. Yeah. We're definitely there on the cusp of it.
I'm looking forward to it. I know it's a lot less interaction, but you can get a lot of interaction and still not go out on New Year's Eve to a party somewhere.
Sure.
So
yeah,
I think there's enough to cover up that loss. But again, it's what your traditions are, and it's what you end up figuring out is what his tradition is going to be.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's going to make some mistakes. Got to understand that.
Oh yeah.
He's going to go out and do something stupid, and that's okay.
I mean, he's from me. He's going to do something stupid, of course. Like, geez almighty. My parents are like, I don't even. Yeah,
push them to make every mistake they can while they're living with you. Because when they're out there, and I'm looking at Fabian, I'm like, you're going to go out and you're going to be in college. You're going to be about 2.5 hours away, which is not far, really. We can come get you if we need to. And you're going to do something monumentally stupid. It's going to be something that you think is going to be fun, you know, and it's going to be, well, Dad, I just thought it was a good idea to take the stop sign down there at the corner and put it in my dorm room. You did. Do we use that stop sign, Fabian? Well, I don't. Yeah, see, something dumb like that, you know, perfectly reasonable when you're a teenager.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things I'm like, all right, like, what am I going to have to be like, okay, yeah, that was a bad choice. I've done that too. We'll move on. Like, learn from your mistake. Don't get put in jail. Like, we'll be okay. Like, that was the one thing I've never been arrested. So that's a good thing. Like, if you can have fun and do some screwy things and not get arrested, like, you're doing okay for yourself.
Well, I've also never been arrested for doing anything fun.
There you go. only the yeah.
I was doing stupid things, but I've been arrested for that. But was not fun. Was not having any fun doing it. So, but anyway.
But regardless, yeah. Well, I'm excited for what's coming up for 2024, and I think that, man, we've done so. We've almost done 150 episodes and things. And I'll say this for the last of things, I was doing a little bit of research on Home Dad or At Home Dad podcasts, and I found out that we still hold the top spot for the number one podcast out of 20 podcasts that they look at for At Home Dads. We're still the number one podcast to be recommended. Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, well, let me say thank you to you and thank you to our audience.
Yeah.
For helping us get there. That's amazing. I never, if we had have said, if you'd have said, or I'd have said when we started this, we could be the number one podcast for At Home Dads. I think the other guy would be like, okay, look, buddy, just calm down. Okay. just wait a minute. We don't even have a show yet. Just don't dream too big, but yeah, it's third year running, right?
Yeah. Third year running is crazy. Man. I was excited. Like, I was just like, and I don't like search for the same one. I always just put in like At Home Dad podcast and see what pops up. And it's always the same like article that has like, these are the top 20 or top 50 like podcasts that you should listen to for this year or whatever. And we've been at the top of the same one every time. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You should get like a web page or something. We should branch out. Move away from our tiny little thing on the athomedad.org page.
Oh no, let's keep it going on that and keep drawing people in. So, but regardless of all of that, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Mm-hmm. So, hope everybody has a great holiday, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.